Welcome back. This is Danielle Yeager with part 3 of the 6-part series on relationships, specifically healthy relationships, because that's what we all want, right? So far, we've gone over the basics of healthy relationships, red flags for unhealthy relationships, and the skills for healthy communication, which is a foundational skill for a healthy relationship. And we've dove deeper into tips to be a good listener. So if you missed any of those videos, you can find them in the description below. So today we're going to go deeper into the key principle of having boundaries for a healthy relationship. For many people, boundaries sounds restrictive and even in opposition to being vulnerable, which we talked about last time as being an important skill for communication. However, it is through having clear boundaries that you will find success in your relationship. Boundaries include your boundaries, your personal boundaries. It includes your partner's personal boundaries, and it includes your relationship boundaries that you will develop together as a couple. Each of these areas is just as important as the other. So when it comes to your boundaries, you need to be really honest and vulnerable with yourself. You need to decide what things you absolutely cannot put up with in a relationship. This is up to you to decide. You have to figure this out for yourself. It should not be things that you think you should have as boundaries. Once you are really clear on your boundaries, then the next step is to actually communicate them in your relationship. It's not enough to have boundaries and keep them a secret. You must give this other person the same clarity that you've achieved. They deserve the right to know what it takes to love you. Knowing your boundaries is an important way to love you. Don't be blind in your relationship, and don't let your partner be blind either. So again, that ties back to that communication. You must communicate your boundaries clearly. And when it comes to your partner's boundaries, it is really up to you to ask. They may not be totally aware of what their boundaries are, so it can be important to get clear on your boundaries first so that you can give them some examples and even how you came up with them yourself. Give them the space they need to get clear on their boundaries and create space to really listen to them about what their boundaries are. Now, the final step is to create boundaries for your relationship together. This is where the two of you decide how you're going to protect your relationship together. It is through setting up these boundaries together that you release the opportunity for one of you to make a damaging choice for your relationship without even knowing it was going to be damaging. These boundaries could be anything. It could be that you choose to not be apart from one another for more than 3 months at a time for any reason. It could be that you will not bring up anyone else. Let me rephrase. That you will not bring anyone else into your relationship, meaning that your relationship is just between the two of you. It could be that you will share immediately when you're having doubts or fears related to your relationship. It could be that if you are developing feelings for someone else, you will choose to release that relationship, etc. It's really up to you. There are no rules, but you must both agree on all of these together. So I would love to hear what boundaries you are setting for yourself or your relationship in the comments below. And if you want to make big strides in your ability to set boundaries, then let's work together one-on-one. Now, I only have limited space, so if you're interested, make sure you check out the link in the description below. And I will see you next week for part 4 in this series all about healthy relationships.